HR Basics is a series of short courses designed to highlight what you need to know about a particular human resource management topic. In today's HR Basics, we explore teamwork, outlining the 5 steps of developing a cohesive and productive team. A team is a relatively small number of people, from 3 to 12, that share a common goal, rewards, and responsibilities for achieving them. In theory, teamwork is simple. Most of us already know what it requires. But in practice, teamwork is difficult. Building a team is a process, one that requires remarkable levels of discipline, courage, and persistence. Like it or not, all teams are potentially dysfunctional. This is inevitable because they're made up of fallible, imperfect human beings. Politics and confusion are more the rule than the exception. However, facing dysfunction and focusing on teamwork is particularly critical at the top of an organization because the executive team sets the tone for how all employees work with one another. Let's take a minute to define the term politics. Politics is when people choose their words and actions based on how they want others to react rather than based on what they really think. The causes of dysfunction are both identifiable and curable. However, they won't die easily. Making a team functional and cohesive requires courage and discipline. To begin improving your team and to better understand the level of dysfunction you're facing, ask yourself these simple questions. Do team members openly and readily disclose their opinions? Are team meetings compelling and productive? Does the team come to decisions quickly and avoid getting bogged down by consensus? Do team members confront one another about their shortcomings? Do team members sacrifice their own interests for the good of the team? Although no team is perfect, and even the best teams sometimes struggle with one or more of these issues, the finest organizations constantly work to ensure that their answers are yes. If you answered no to any one of these questions, your team might need some work. The first step towards reducing politics and confusion within your team is to understand that there are 5 dysfunctions to contend with. First, the absence of trust. The fear of being vulnerable with team members prevents building of trust within the team. Second, the fear of conflict. The desire to preserve artificial harmony stifles the occurrence of productive, ideological conflict. Third, a lack of commitment. The lack of clarity or buy-in prevents team members from making decisions they'll stick to. Fourth, the avoidance of accountability. The need to avoid interpersonal discomfort prevents team members from holding one another accountable for their behaviors and their performance. And fifth and finally, the inattention to results. The pursuit of individual goals and personal status erodes the focus on collective success. Teams willing to address the 5 dysfunctions can experience the following benefits. High-performing, cohesive teams are comfortable asking for help, admitting mistakes and limitations, and take risks offering feedback. They tap into one another's skills and experiences. They avoid wasting time talking about the wrong issues and revisiting the same topics over and over again because of a lack of buy-in. They make higher quality decisions and accomplish more in less time with fewer resources. They put critical topics on the table and have lively meetings. They align the team around common objectives, and they retain great employees. The absence of trust is a fear of being vulnerable with team members that prevents building of trust within the team. Teams that are lacking on trust are incapable of engaging in unfiltered, passionate debate about key issues, causing situations where team conflict can easily turn into veiled discussions and back-channel comments. In a work setting where team members do not openly air their opinions, inferior decisions are the result. Building trust is all about vulnerability. Team members who trust one another can be comfortable being open, even exposed to one another around their failures, weaknesses, and even their fears. Team members need to be comfortable with one another, so they'll be unafraid to honestly say things like, "I was wrong," "I made a mistake," "I need help," "I'm sorry," and "you're better at that than I am." Predictive trust is where you trust others because you trust that they'll behave in a certain way. On the other hand, vulnerability-based trust is a place where leaders comfortably and quickly acknowledge their mistakes, weaknesses, failures, and needs for help. The fear of conflict is a desire to preserve artificial harmony that stifles the occurrence of productive, ideological conflict. Without conflict, it's difficult for team members to commit to decisions, creating an environment where ambiguity prevails. Lack of direction and commitment can make employees, particularly star employees, disgruntled. We all have ways we naturally respond in conflict situations, influenced by our personality, upbringing, or culture. Let's explore some of the common ways that people deal with conflict. The Thomas Kilmann Conflict Instrument, or TKI, is an assessment that identifies 5 common styles or strategies for dealing with conflict, also called conflict modes. The TKI was designed to illustrate the options we have when handling conflict. The TKI defines 5 approaches to resolving conflict. There are 5 modes that can be used to address workplace conflict. Competing is the goal to win. Collaborating is working together to find a mutually beneficial solution. Compromising finds the middle ground. Avoiding hides from the conflict, hoping that it will go away. And accommodating surrenders your needs to please the other. Each of us is capable of using all 5 conflict handling modes. None of us can be characterized as having a single style of dealing with conflict. But certain people use some modes better than others and therefore tend to rely on those modes more heavily. Your conflict behavior in the workplace is a result of both your personal predispositions and the requirements of the situation in which you find yourself. The TKI is designed to measure this mix of conflict handling modes. Think about conflict this way. On one end, there's artificial harmony, with no conflict at all, and on the other, there are mean-spirited, personal attacks. In the exact middle of the continuum, there's a line where conflict goes from constructive to destructive. The vast majority of teams live close to the harmony end of the scale, fearing that any movement towards the middle is a bad thing. The best place on the continuum is close to the middle, just to the left of the dividing line. A lack of commitment is about the lack of clarity or buy-in that prevents team members from making decisions they will stick to. Without conflict, it's difficult for team members to commit to decisions, creating an environment where ambiguity prevails. A lack of direction and commitment can make employees, particularly good ones, disgruntled. A wildly important goal is the one thing that if you failed to achieve would make any other success seem secondary. Don't be distracted by lesser goals, or be tempted to pursue multiple important goals. It isn't possible. To choose a wig, you can ask, what area of performance would we want to improve the most? What are our greatest strengths to leverage? What area of poor performance needs to be improved? Each of these choose a wig that feeds the organization's wig. The avoidance of accountability is the need to avoid interpersonal discomfort that prevents team members from holding one another accountable for their behaviors and performance. When teams don't commit to a clear plan of action, even the most focused and driven individuals hesitate to call on their peers on actions and behaviors that may seem counterproductive to the overall good of the team. Accountability on a strong team occurs directly among peers. For a culture of accountability to thrive, a leader must demonstrate a willingness to confront difficult issues. The best opportunity for holding one another accountable occurs during meetings, and the regular review of a team's scorecard provides a clear context for doing so. The inattention of results is the pursuit of individual goals and personal status that erodes the focus on collective success. Level 5 leaders lead with unusual combinations of personal humility and will. Level 5 leaders are humble and they don't seek success for their own glory. They share credit for success and they're the first to accept the blame for mistakes. Level 5 leaders also display tremendous professional will or ambition to make the company succeed over their personal success. They then commit to a course of action, no matter how difficult it is, and they stick to it. Related to the 5 dysfunctions, there are characteristics of an ideal team player. First, they share accomplishments with everyone and leave their egos at the door. Next, they hold their colleagues accountable, always striving to learn and do more and consistently look towards the next opportunity. They commit to team goals and do whatever is necessary to accomplish objectives. They do and say the right things to help teammates feel appreciated and understood even when difficult situations arise. And they build trusting relationships by being open and accessible. Striving to create a functional, cohesive team is one of the few remaining competitive advantages available to any organization looking for a powerful point of differentiation. Functional teams avoid wasting time and talking about the wrong issues and revisiting the same topics over and over again because of a lack of buy-in. Functional teams also make higher quality decisions and accomplish more in less time and with less distraction and frustration. Successful teamwork is about embracing common sense with uncommon levels of discipline and persistence.